The issue begins with the introduction of this universe's Spider-Man. His name is Dr. Aaron Aikman, a molecular biologist that underwent a self-inflicted treatment using insect venoms. Aikman didn't just survive his own experiment, but would find himself empowered with superhuman abilities. He became a hero for his city. He became the Spider-Man. As Spider-Man, he has fought many villains, including a mysterious foe who people called Namora, a dangerous and monstrous kidnapper that he has failed to apprehend. We are introduced to Dr. Kaori Ikigami, his boss whom he has been romantically involved with. 7 years ago, Ikigami would lose her 10-year-old daughter Hana to a car accident. Hana survived, but she suffered irreversible brain damage and would remain in a persistent vegetative state for the rest of her life. Dr. Ikigami would dedicate most of her life to caring for her daughter. The rollercoaster relationship between Aaron and the doctor would eventually break them apart. With plenty of time on his hands after the breakup, Spider-Man would find a pattern to the kidnappings by Namora. He is now ready to end the city's lost persons nightmare. Spider-Man would find his prey red-handed. He engages Namora and eventually subdues the villain. Unmasked, Namora is exposed to be somebody else. Instead of apprehending a villain, Spider-Man has apprehended one of the kidnapped victims. After careful analysis of the body, Spider-Man uncovers a technology that would lead him back to his ex-girlfriend. He confronts Kaori and discovers the truth behind the villain Namora. We discovered that many years ago, Kaori was successful in bringing her daughter back to life via cybernetic implants, but what she brought back was not her daughter. Blinded by love, Kaori did whatever Namora told her to do, so she did. More walking machines were built for the sole purposes of kidnapping. Thus, a small army is out there kidnapping more victims to build their army for the next wave. Deducing that Hana is long dead and Namora is from another dimension, Spider-Man races to save the city, possibly the world, from certain destruction. But just before he hits the exit doors, Morlun stands waiting for him. Spider-Man states, "Who are you?" Morlun states, "The end of your story." What's going on, guys? Welcome to Comic Island! My name is Joe and today we are reviewing and recapping the Edge of Spider-Verse issue 3. So I honestly have no clue where to start first. Let me just start by saying that I love this issue. Spider-Verse 1 and 2 were really good, but I dare say that I think I enjoyed this one the most. This issue had the feel of thriller and horror instead of just a standard superhero vibe. Imagine a cybernetic creature that kidnaps people in the night and who was never detected until people around the victim's immediate radius started having the same nightmare. Such a clever and subtle concept, and I loved it. I enjoyed the beginning when we are introduced to this new Spider-Man, but then the middle felt it dragged a bit. I didn't care much for the girlfriend or their daughter's story arc, and I was struggling to care for this new Spider-Man, but then the ending was just superb. In a couple of pages, I now care so much for the Spider-Man and his girlfriend, and I also love the twist at the end where we discover that Hana is actually the villain Namora. Normally, I would criticize the change in art style, but for the story where we jump from one universe to another, I think this is just an excellent approach. Noir's Spider-Man had a dark and gritty feel to it, whereas Gwen Stacy's Spider-Woman had a girly punk feel. This issue with Aaron Aikman has more of a standard superhero feel mixed in the thriller and the horror aspect. Having said that, I honestly can't wait for the next issue of The Edge of Spider-Verse. So why wait? Let's take a look at the upcoming Spider-Verse issue 4. I assume this is a younger Peter Parker. There isn't much dialogue in these pages, but we do see how he gains his powers. We even get a page where I assume he discovers his web powers for the first time by engulfing his poor cat in Spider's web. Just by these preview images, I would assume that this version of Spider-Man might not be a good guy, but more like a juvenile delinquent. So now my concern is that the bar is raised really high, and the next issues won't be as good as issues 1, 2, and 3, but if done right, this could be a series that would forever go down as the best Spider-Man story arc ever told. But then that's just my opinion. What do you think about The Edge of Spider-Verse issue 3? And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time in The Edge of Spider-Verse issue 4.